So the question is like this: how do we understand the passage in John 14:12, which says that a believer can do greater works than Jesus? This is what the verse reads: "Most assuredly I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also, and greater works than these will he do, because I go to the Father." Some use it to indicate that Jesus will give you power to perform even greater works than he did. How would you respond to that?
Well, to say that a believer can do or perform greater miracles than Yeshua is a very serious and grave statement which borders on blasphemy. This reminds us of Satan's statement as he said, I will be like the Most High, which was his last statement before his fall. This one was the last of the 5 I wills of Satan in Isaiah 14. You can find them in verses 13 to 14. However, this is not at all what John 14:12 says. In John 14, we are at a moment when Yeshua was about to leave the earth, and so he encourages the disciples and tells them that they will do greater works than he did. First, the word works is not the word for miracle. You will probably recognize the word, the Greek word. It's ergon. Ergon, from where we get our word ergonomics, right? Which is defined as the study of the people's efficiency in their working environment. This is what this Greek word means. It is translated by words like duty, like deeds, like tasks or works, but not as miracles. As for the word greater, it is megas, which indicates something greater in size, right? But not better or greater in quality. Okay, as an example of greater works in number, look at Peter's sermon and the coming of faith of 3,000 Jewish souls. The fulfillment of what Yeshua said already came to pass not much longer after he left to be with the Father. In fact, this is the reason believers will do more in numbers before now, after just 3 years. He is going to his Father, so he worked only for 3 years. However, we as a ministry can last for decades, right? In that sense, it is greater in extent. So while Yeshua also reminds us that our time will last longer, he does not leave us orphan. And I love what he says in this passage in verse 16. In the same text, he says, I will pray the Father that he will give you another helper, that he may abide with you forever. While Yeshua left us to go to heaven so that he could perform his ministry of high priest, because this is what he's doing now, sitting at the right hand of God, his Spirit, his Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, did come and to dwell in us to help us do these ergons, these works that each believer is assigned to. It is again a matter of looking at the words in the original language and understanding it according also to the context. When we do this, we can avoid so many problems. And so this to say that we all have works to do. Jesus said it. He says, I chose you so that you may bear fruits. And so the question that every believer should ask himself or herself is, what fruits am I bearing? What is it that Jesus wants me to do? He has prepared something for us, a work line to do. So let's try to figure out what it is. And of course, I'm sure you are already doing works in your prayers, in your preaching the word, in the testimony of the word, and so on and so forth.